All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to our October 2023 Release Over 20 giveaway. And this is our first month of having Redfish be part of the program. So if you're new to the live broadcast, if you maybe submitted a Redfish, I want to just briefly explain how this all works. So what we do is every month we take, you consider every fish that you release as kind of like a raffle ticket. And we take all those entries, and it's kind of like fully transparent, a completely live giveaway where we run a random picker and choose a winner from all the entries. So literally anyone can win. And the more fish that you enter, the better your chances of winning. And we've had many people that have won more than once with just from entering a lot of fish. And this was a record. It was a record month for entries because of Redfish. Very successful, and I think a lot of people don't even know that Redfish are part of the thing yet. So we just got to get the word out. But before I get too much further, I'm going to bring on my fellow board members, Adam and Carrie. So, hey guys.
Hey.
Hey everyone.
Hope everyone's doing well. And myself and Adam and Carrie both were fishing today.
Yeah, I've seen enough of Adam. He's been like 8 hours today.
Okay, you're gonna drop off now then.
Adam's got a Release Over 20 for this month.
For Redfish.
That's right. And
yeah.
boy,
Hey,
did we
my wife and I both have one for last month though. So she's over here. She's asking me what kind of prize I put together because she thinks she's gonna win it.
Hey, so she might. Very well might. So at our fundraiser this spring called Cast It Forward, I raffled off a trip, and it was won by a guy named Glenn. And hey, Daryl, thanks for joining. And it was what I call a margarita slam, which probably nobody knows what that is, but it's something I made up, and it's a brackish water slam. Usually a slam here in Charleston, it's a redfish, trout, and flounder. But I added a striper and a largemouth to that to make a 5-species slam, and it's kind of something I've been doing to challenge myself. And it's one thing to go fishing, and then you just happen to catch that amount of species, and it's like, oh well, that's cool. But it's a whole other thing to call your shot. You know what I mean? It's like you go out in the morning and you say, my goal today is to catch this slam, and it makes you sort of have a strategy, knowing what you know about the different species and how they feed, and where, if they're ambush feeders, if they feed in the bottom, feed in the middle of the column, if they like salt or fresh water. So it's just fun. It's a fun challenge. So I had these guys out today, and we were really lucky that we launched at 7 a.m. and we had the slam complete by 10 a.m. And so it was super rewarding. And here's one thing, man, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen, and I'd never seen it before. Glenn caught a red breast on a Texas-eye jig.
Really?
A red breast. So I didn't even know that thing got its mouth around a 3/0 hook. But I have photo proof. It was like crazy. I can't even believe it.
Well, so Adam and I got on a really exciting bite today too. We February, about 2 years ago in February, Adam and I got on a lizardfish bite. It was just outstanding, right, Adam?
Oh yeah.
And so we went back to get on that lizardfish bite. This is completely just a joke, but it happened 2 years ago. And we were just dying laughing because everything we caught, we thought it was going to be a trout and it'd be a lizardfish. Well, today we went just to fish for lizardfish. Couldn't catch because the pinfish were so thick.
We found the pinfish honey hole of all honey holes.
We did. I mean, it was like a herd of them following your bait right back to the boat.
The water was so clear you could see them, and literally it was like a pack of wolves chasing us off plastic. Like it was right out of
It's crazy.
National Geographic for sure.
All right, well, let's bring on a couple of our state reps. Don Bellius from Louisiana or Mississippi. I'm sorry.
Hey, Don.
And Captain Scotty Lawson from North Carolina.
Captain Scotty.
That's one guy. You're on mute, I think. There you go.
Yeah, I am. Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah. So I texted Scotty a couple days ago because he gave us some of those peanut top waters, and then Adam's been holding on to them, and we had a board meeting, and that's exactly the one I had. Finally, we distributed them at our board meeting, and I used that one and tied it on, and that thing didn't walk for 10 feet before I caught a 20.5-inch trout, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
So those things are legit. They have a really good walk to them.
I like the sound of.
Yeah, they got a low pitch, but they walk like they got a real good, action to the walk. So appreciate that, man.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I think I used those once before with Judd Brock. We were up striper fishing, and the striper really responded to those things up in the Roanoke River. So pretty cool. So how's the bite up in your areas?
Pretty good. Trout are starting to move in, so we're getting a lot of trout. Big drum I caught one last Saturday, and then a Marine that I took out for the fish program, he got a 51.5-inch.
Oh my God.
28, just over 50 pounds. On this Saturday. And then we've been out
That's
looking
insane.
for spot drum, getting stripers, and the blues are still thick.
That's cool. That's awesome. By the way, anyone that's watching, if you have any questions or comments, just drop them in the comments, and we'll post them up and respond to them. We'd like to hear from who's following. So I'm going to go ahead and put up our presentation. And let me see if I can. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get us. There we are on the bottom. I don't know if this is going to hide some of the stuff I got showing here, but okay, I wanted to point out a few big milestones that we reached in October. This is giant. We finally reached 10,000 trout entered and released in the program. I mean, isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
We actually, as of today, are up to 10,288, which, of course, as you know, this lower number is the estimated egg spawn from those trout releases, 205 billion.
Billion with a B.
Eggs. That's a special guest, Marty Marsh, who is our guest's wife, who's a hell of a fisherman in her own right. Thanks for watching, Marty. So yeah, 10,000 trout. What? That's crazy. The other big milestone is this one is really important, and it's 2,000 unique participants that have entered at least one fish into the program. And that was one we reached in October as well. And we're already up to 2,025. Most likely because of adding redfish to the program. But, that's amazing to get, the more people that start releasing fish is that's kind of what our goal is. So that's our measure of success. That's a number that we as a board keep a close eye on. And we're trying to, it's good to measure how many people are learning about the program and participating in it. And, the more fish you release, the more you want to is what we say. So that's amazing. 2,000 people. Let's see. And I posted just a few comments. I like to go through our comments. If you ever go to our leaderboards page, you'll see there's a comment icon that you can click on. And it's just people, when they enter the fish, there's a comment field and you can put something in. So there's a lot of kind of cool stuff. Like Tanner, he said he's so glad that we included reds. Charleston's going to reap the rewards of this. our Charleston fishery is really, really pressured for reds. And, he says he can tell a difference. So that's cool. Just people saying, love what you guys do. Just this one from Lane I thought was cool. He said, if this entry wins, please donate to someone else in North Carolina that doesn't enter that much. I want to grow the community. That's cool. So thanks always for the comments. So how did we do for redfish? Our very first month, 311 fish entered. Believe it or not, more trout than reds were released, but I think eventually that number is probably going to get even more than trout as people start learning about it. But I think that's great. I think that's awesome. So this was our totals here. So 330 trout entered, 18 flounder, 16 sheep's head, 311 red drum, all-time record for us. Can't do the math real quick, but it's close to 700 fish entered in 1 month. Pretty cool. Comment from Daryl. Still waiting a big trout run. 20 schoolers, full of shrimp here in Mississippi. Yeah. We here in Charleston are down to water temps like 62 to 64. Is that what you guys saw today?
Yeah.
And I've heard some great. Well, you guys were one of them. Heard some great reports about trout. A lot of numbers and good size too, right? One of my friends, Captain Shane Green from down in Kiowa Island, said it's like one of the best trout years he's ever seen for quality and numbers. So it's fun. It's a fun time of year, man. Gotta love it.
I think Adam and I made a mistake. We went to the jetties today in search of big trout, and we should have gone right back to where I was fishing on Saturday and just started getting into them. So,
yeah.
And then he had a friend, Adam, didn't you, that said they caught 70 today? You're on mute, Adam.
Yeah, 2 guys caught over 70, almost all keepers except for 3, he said, and a couple were over 18 inches. So
nice.
675, right? Total this month, by the way.
675, yeah, that's amazing. We haven't tracked how it's trended over time, but that's certainly a step change. I'm gonna put us back on the side here, okay? So Corey Mayo, who's he's our all-time leader, like all-time, was also our leader this month. He's out of Virginia. He had looks like 39 entries. Jason Lutz. So a lot of our Virginia followers. Looks like we needed 16 fish to make the top 10. Nick Culley was the 10th. That's pretty strong. Pretty cool. Virginia, as usual, dunking on the rest of the country, followed by North Carolina and then Florida. South Carolina showing up here. And then tailing off down, we had some New Jersey entries and down to Georgia. So that's pretty cool. Fairly typical month. This one excites me. So I don't know if we maybe once before have we had 10 guides enter fish. And that's obviously a top 10 list, but we've got a really good turnout for guides. And what did Adam and Carey, what did I say? We had like 87 guides in the Get On Board program.
Yeah, I think it's right at that number, 78 or 87 one.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but it's a lot. And I really hope that we can do more to get more incentives for the guides themselves so that they can also get like some kind of reward besides the reward of just having their clients have the chance to win. And I think we can really grow this program a lot, the Get On Board program, but it's taken off. And I love to see it. So we got Scotty Sevens, who was our guest last month with 6 entries, and yeah, a couple guys from South Carolina. Got some Murrells Inlet guys, someone from Edisto. We got Scotty Wasson in there with 6.
What state is leading that?
Carolina Tradition. I don't know where they're from. Maybe North Carolina. You know them?
He's out of Morehead City.
Morehead City, yeah.
And then
Johnny-
Gunny out of Swansboro, Jacksonville.
Okay, yeah. North Carolina in the house. Representing. Gotta like it. Pretty cool. Okay, so all that, let's introduce our guest. So I'm gonna embarrass our guest here.
Oh, because we've got maybe 50 people watching, right?
Yeah. Well, there'll be more after the fact.
I know. We
So-
get more later, so don't
Our
mess up.
guest David Turan is one of my favorite people of all time. Him and his wife Marty are just the salt of the earth, and he's humble and he's talented in so many ways. So he's got this amazing style, and you'll see it reflected in his brand Prime Gancho and the artwork that he's got. And I'm going to show you in the next couple pages like some of the things that like my favorite design that he has, but he's got so many that are super cool. So that's one aspect of David, but that's not the whole thing. So he's also a charter captain, and I've actually chartered him before with my brother-in-law, and out of he's out of Houston, and we fished that. I didn't even know the waterway. He can tell me about it in a second, but had a great time, caught some nice trout together, and he's got a beautiful boat, keeps perfectly maintained, and but he's all about release number 20 and releasing fish and stuff like that. He's got awesome like little pet conchi, and he used to have another one named Chop, so it's like that's like his baby. And I saw him in Houston one time. We went and got crawfish together, and just a great host and whatever. But the third thing he is he's a great photographer. And again, it kind of has that artsy sort of mind about him. But now that I've embarrassed the crap out of him, I'm going to bring him on the stage. So let's figure this out. Here we go. How do I make him the big one here? There he is. Hey, David.
Hello.
On the big screen here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me figure this out. There we go. That'll work. So tell us a little bit about your brand. So I'm looking, sure. You can see I'm wearing his logo right now.
I see
Every
that.
time David comes out with a new line, I always go to a store and I buy some because I really love his stuff. He's not giving this stuff to me. I'm buying it like any other person. But yeah. So what do you got? You got some new stuff out on the market?
Yes.
or-
So yeah, like David mentioned, I'm David Turan, founder of Prime Gancho. It's a lifestyle brand. It's primarily for the fishing outdoor industry, and Prime Gancho we just offer products and services that support that. Originally, when none of this really started with a business plan per se, it just started organically. Through social media, just sharing in my passions, likes and interests, just like everyone else. And it just kind of got a little bit of a following. People were really kind of liking what I was doing on the water. I was really active. And I knew at one point that I wanted to guide just because I had a lot of interest in social media. And one of my goals, obviously, before I even started guiding, when I would just take friends and family out, like I didn't really care if I caught. If my boat was catching, then I was happy and I was content. So I just took that same approach to guiding. The apparel kind of came as afterthought, mainly as an upsell for the charter service to get a T-shirt as a souvenir. But people really connected with our style of art and what we were conveying with our brand, and that just kind of like turned into a whole apparel line unintentionally. But I think what people really connect with our brand is just the different style, the different approach that Prime Gancho is not a traditional cookie cut of what an outdoorsman should be. So we're kind of breaking the mold, and I think we're doing that with our styles, our style of art, our colorways, some of the garments that we're using, and of course, on the third aspect of Prime Gancho, of course, as Dave mentioned, is the photography. But all this is all kind of encapsulated under the same passion that we all share here on this panel is fishing. Mm-hmm. So that's really what we're about. In regards to the charter service, I am from the Houston area. The closest surrounding bays here to this city would be the Upper Galveston complex, which consists of like Trinity Bay, Anahuac, and it's sometimes as far out as east as Sabine. So those are the areas that I fish. Prime Gancho Charters is really geared to be a first-class charter, and Dave had experienced that in our early stages, and I think we've improved on that season over the years and over the fishing seasons. But yeah, it's a first-class charter. Private experience. It's not a fill the boat type of charter. I really like to cater to my guests, and I think just the sense of having everyone on board that you can kind of vibe with is always going to be a better experience than just as opposed to like filling the boat with a bunch of strangers and you never know if you're really going to vibe with them, and then you got to spend the whole day with them. So that's a little bit different. So I really like my approach on the first class experience of charter here on the Upper Coast. And we're targeting the big three, which is redfish, trout, and flounder. I'm really excited now that redfish is introduced to Release Over 20. I think when Dave first announced it, I think my immediate reaction was like, all right, cool. Now I can actually compete and participate into this event with big reds. The heavier trout are harder to come by, as we all know. But
you weren't the only one to have that reaction, by the way. Yeah. Oh, now I can compete.
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought. So, and then of course, the whole, like I've always had a great appreciation for redfish. It's my favorite species to target, and then for them just to get some recognition in the program is made it that much more exciting for me to participate and be a sponsor. And that's why we support this. Dave has been a really big influence in my style of fishing and my approach. Just the knowledge that he shares with these facts on the lifespan of fish and how long it takes for them to grow to get to these points. It puts a lot of things in perspective, and it did for me. And that's something I want to show my clients and guests on board. And when you catch a fish that might have been hanging around that dock for 20 years or, 10, 15 years, to me, it's that much more valuable to like, okay, this dude's a trooper. He deserves to live. And that's why I get excited about, releasing the big catches. And of course, the eaters, the whole keep what you eat. I'm not saying that I don't always release all my fish, but all the efforts, knowledge that Release Over 20 has done to bring awareness and kind of open up an eye to see what it takes for these animals or these fish to get to these size. To me, that's makes them more valuable,
Mm-hmm.
So probably carried on a little bit too much about that.
No, that's awesome. One thing that David didn't mention that I think is kind of unique about his charter is that because he's also a photographer, like you'll be out there and you'll be worried, like you'll hook a fish and you're busy trying to land the fish, and what you don't realize is that he secretly pulled out his camera and he's taking some just amazing, unscripted, just like candid pictures of the whole throughout the day. You didn't even realize it's happening, and then you'll finish a charter, and like a day or two later, you'll get an email with these amazing pictures of your day fishing, and it's like that's a whole aspect that I've never seen anyone else do, and I think it's just super cool.
Thanks, Dave. I'm glad you took note of that, and that is something that we offer in the charter, and it's what I do kind of differentiate from all the guides that have been doing this for way longer than I have. It's a real competitive industry, and that was just one way that I felt like I can differentiate myself from the other charters. And then my guests really tend to love that. It's kind of a souvenir, and because of that, I've kind of developed, I guess, a trademark or slogan, which is Prime Gancho Charters is catch fish, keep memories. So the idea behind that is you're there for the experience of getting bit and feeling that tug and getting some line peeled. That's what I want you to catch, is that experience. And then the keep memories is self-explanatory with the photos that you get from the experience. So if you see that in some of my hashtags, that's the whole thought behind Prime Gancho Charters. It's really our motto is to catch fish and keep the memories.
Yeah, and like just even the little things, like in the middle of the day we just stopped and we had the beer, and you put like some lime juice and salt on the beer, and just little things like that. It was just super cool. It just kicks it up a notch. And,
yeah, it's a now that's known as a Gancho Light on board, which is just a cold beer with the rim filled up with lime juice sprinkled with some salt. You take that first sip on a hot day of fishing, man, it just hits. You can't really beat that. We've all experienced that. I think we all enjoy that feeling. So, but yeah, that's just one of the examples of how I'm trying to gear my charter as a first class charters. I hadn't used the guide much here in the States. My wife and I used to travel a lot pre-COVID, and a lot of them were to coastal countries, and it was to do primarily fishing. So I got to experience a lot of bad trips and a lot of good trips, and I just I took a little bit of all those positive experiences that I remembered and were memorable for me, and that's kind of how I developed my business plan for the charter. And it's a lot of things like that I don't even promote, and I don't want to even put it. I don't promote it. I don't put it on my website because I don't want other captains to bite it, and they're offering the same service. But it's these are things that like my clients share with their friends and family, and that's how I get referrals. And I've actually had a guest come on board to where I'll go over the game plan. Okay, this is the weather. This is what to expect. This is what we're gonna do. Feel free to keep whatever is legal, throw them back, but I will be taking pictures at some point. And I had a client says, "Yeah, I know. That's what I'm here for. I'm just here for the photos." I was like, all right, cool. It's just little, and none of these extras or perks are at a premium. These are all inclusive, and they're all relatively. My rates are comparable to any other guide. I just, like I said, it's just one of those things that I try to separate myself, make it memorable, something special for my guests that they can take with them, aside from just catching fish or catching a sunburn, whatever happens that day.
I think Adam snaps pictures of me a lot when we're fishing. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that he's snapping pictures of me. Is that true, Adam?
Oh yeah, of course. Try and capture your good side for the car.
Adam outfished me today. He was on him. I couldn't seem to catch anything.
That's awesome. So
He's gonna surprise you one day with them pictures.
I know.
David, you've worked for some pretty high profile brands with your photography, right?
Yes, I have, and it's early on into my photography career. I've done a few projects for Shimano. I know that's pretty well known there in the Low Country. And every time I mention, or I'll tell Dave, like, hey, check out this photo that I did for Shimano, they're like, that's kind of a big deal. They don't just like let any riffraff come do work for them. So, but I was blessed early on to work with Shimano. I've done some projects for Columbia, PFG. Like all of my photography is lifestyle, kind of documentary style for the outdoor industry, which is primarily hunting, fishing, and boating. But yeah, I was really lucky, and a lot of that has to do with just friends, like how Dave and I became friends through social media, through this community of fishing, sharing our passion, meeting other like minds, and then eventually we'll hang out and fish. And then you come to know each other, that people have been doing this for a while, and in the industry have their sponsors and their I guess teams that they fish for. And then it initially starts with a collaboration where I might, let's say, for example, Dave is a pro staff at Shimano. He invites me on board. We're doing our thing. We're just casually taking some pictures, and then he shares them on his social media. And of course, their brand reps kind of get word of it. And that's how I was kind of blessed to work with these companies, is through collaborations of friends that are sponsored athletes. So, but yeah, it's it all kind of goes hand in hand with this day and age of fishing and social media and sharing your experiences. So, that's really how it all started. Once again, it's all very organic within the community on how these projects occurred.
Yeah,
We certainly appreciate the support, David. We appreciate all that you do for us. So.
Yeah, I'm all about it since its inception. When Dave first started this program early on, I don't recall there being that many prominent sponsors, and at first I was kind of intimidated to reach out. I was like, well, who's going to really want my stuff or really have an interest for it? But that wasn't really that was my thoughts at first. I didn't really think I'd get a response, but then I just started thinking to myself, well, my stuff's cool. My merch is unique. If I can get a chance to showcase this through this platform and it gets someone excited enough to want to release a fish at a chance to win my merchandise, then it's definitely a win. But yeah, like I said, I'm all about it. I try to encourage all my guests on board and whoever fishes with me, throw the big ones back, keep what you eat. But it's a great program. It was kind of exciting to see where it's been. Then it just kind of took off during the pandemic. It actually spread faster than COVID, in my opinion. And then now it's like you got a whole panel of board members, and you guys are doing big things with the nonprofit, and it seems like every month is just getting bigger and bigger. And I'm just glad to be a part of it, be on board, and spread the awareness about how important our fishery can be.
awesome.
So,
Sorry, go ahead, Kurt.
I was just going to say, David, on your website, it says you offer $15 off for any angler that participates in catch and release.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So originally, I I think when I started this incentive for catch and release, I think it was like a flat rate of may have been like $60 or something like that. So if I have a group of a crew of 4, but maybe not everyone wants to participate into that and get the discount, that's why I kind of broke it into a price break of $15 per angler. Some people take advantage of it and some don't. You know, they'll go out, catch a shit ton of fish and chunk them all back, you know, and still pay the full rate. That was just my way to kind of get people all excited about. This was when I first offered that was my first year of guiding, which was in 2020. And that was kind of like during that time when we had the big freeze here in Texas. So it just felt right. And to this day, I still offer that same discount. And I'm happy to have people take advantage of it, you know.
That's great.
Yeah. So I have one page from David's website showing here with just some of the different designs he's got. And his latest one is this one on Trio, the black design.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to point out my favorite, which is his Chuka Libre.
Yeah.
So if you've ever seen the movie Nacho Libre, where Jack Black is, you know, dressed up like a wrestler, it's like a spoof on that, but it's him holding up a giant like 30-inch trout in this bottom right corner. I don't have unfortunately a bigger picture of it, but I've got that sun shirt myself. I get comments on it all the time. We're like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" It's just
That's cool.
Very cool design. But
yeah, so I'd like to talk about that a little bit. So a lot of all of my designs, I put a lot of thought to it, and there's if you really even pay attention, there might even be like some hidden not insignia, but there's a little bit of hidden art. Like for example, El Trio, if you pay attention, you just look at the whole design, you wouldn't necessarily notice that the cufflinks on the mariachis is a PG button. So that's just one example of how we kind of like incorporate some branding with some hidden insignia. But El Trio is the newest, but I like to talk a little bit about the Trucha Libre. That was, I think that came out in 2021, right after the big freeze. And that was really the whole design inspiration behind that, was the whole release the trout during the freeze. In translation, Trucha Libre, if you were to translate that, it means free trout. And the design shows a Mexican-style wrestler with the mask. And if you could see some of the detail in his eyes, they're like the fangs of a trout. I bet you Dave never even noticed that, but he will now next time he puts it on. And once we first introduced that, I think it was first introduced through Release Over 20. And I had spoke with Dave and I was like, hey, maybe we can do like your logo on the front left chest. But Dave was like, no, I like it just the way it is. Let's just present it as is. And sure enough, people were really digging that. I think out of all the designs out of all the product that we shipped, the Carolinas, that was probably the most popular one. I don't know why, but people really were digging that one. And since then, it's almost been like a staple classic into our collection. It's still very popular, really unique design, real cool.
What I think is super cool too is like you have a face mask that has the wrestler mask on it.
Yeah, so it's actually a third part where the buff, like Sun Gator, those little neck buffs that you pull over, it's the actual mask of the wrestler. It's two different designs, but Yeah, when people see the whole fit together, they just like gotta have it. I think just because it's unique, I think people really just like the uniqueness of it. It's just a whole different view to fishing apparel and designs. So.
Yeah, definitely a different, cool design. And I like the new one, the Trio. I actually bought one of those from his website, and it's got a great fit, that shirt. It's like long in the torso, but it just fits really well. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad you do, Dave. And that's a new product into our line. I'm trying to introduce more of a lifestyle approach to where you can just wear this on and off the water instead of just primarily fishing gear. But that particular t-shirt is our very first private label t-shirt. So we experimented with some new garments. I'm glad you like the fit. And I don't know if you noticed, but the print method is also a new technique that we're experimenting with. And it's what do they call this? It's a discharge application with a water-based ink. So what that essentially does is it's less feel. You're not going to feel that heavy plastic mat of plastisol like you would on most screen printed shirts, where they just kind of mat and drape you. So I always say this, like I'm a fisherman first before I am a t-shirt salesman, and the functionality of it has to work as an angler. So that particular method that I just described, that discharge water base, is a little bit more cost on my end, but I think for the end user, it's worth it, just because it's going to be a lot more comfortable. You're not going to feel that ink. You're not going to sweat in it if you do decide to fish in it. So it's our first in the private label, and I'm glad you like it, Dave. And we'll be giving one of those away to one of our participants tonight, right?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to announce, is that so we have our normal 4 giveaways, but we're going to actually do a bonus giveaway tonight, a 5th one, and that's going to be one of those shirts from David, and he will ship it directly from his location. So and that being said, let's go ahead and do the giveaway. What do you guys think? Yeah,
do it.
Scott, did you have something? Oh, he wants to win. I gotcha. All right. Hold on just one second. Let me put this back up. Okay.
How many entries did we have? 600 and
675, I think.
Pam, you have a 1 in 675 chance of winning. She likes her odds.
She likes her odds. Okay. So this is the Get On Board Captain's giveaway. So this is the one where we give away to a client that chooses to release fish on behalf of the captain that they fished with. So, Kerry, what we got here?
Just David AFCO. It's so great that they got on board with us. I know that you're the one that opened up all the boxes, and now that you guys are warehousing that closer by you, then you get to get excited when you get a box in. It's kind of fun because you get to fill up the shelves and all that. But I mean, you're looking at Bait Binder t-shirts and the Paul Brown original. What's that down in the very bottom?
The middle one?
The middle bottom.
That's a Prime Gancho product.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's the new. That's your hard plastics, right?
So yeah, it's a topwater lure. It's basically the blank of a Spook Junior. So just imagine the profile of a Spook Junior, with a custom colorway, which is exclusive to Prime Gancho. It's just like a white pearl base with like a drippy pink, purple, magenta colorway, like on the back, that's spilling over to the body. It's really cool design, but it doesn't just look good. It's made to fish too. That's rigged with BMC split rings and treble hooks. So,
well, I haven't had my hands on it yet because it went directly to David, but I just picked out the products. So It's a little different for me this time doing that. But go ahead, David.
Yeah, that's one of our custom lures. It's a Spook Junior profile with VMC hardware with custom colorway painted by Joey Customs Bait. He's a real talented artist here out of the Houston area as well. So that was the very first in our exclusive colorway. We got a couple more on that Spook Junior blank. And then we actually got a new one coming out. I heard you guys talking about those peanuts.
Yep.
I wasn't in on that chat, but I really dig those. Someone mentioned the sound and the way they walk. They are a really cool bait.
Yep.
So just wanted to touch on those. So whoever's been using those peanuts, I just got turned on to those, and I like them too.
Yeah, Scotty.
Yep.
They're a great bait.
Yeah, it's real fun to fish too. David mentioned something about like the way they walk. What I noticed, they almost kind of like they don't travel. To me, it's almost like they're staying in that same little zone for a little bit longer, as opposed to like walking that bait towards you. That's what I like about it.
Was that Scotty?
They work more horizontal than vertical towards you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if you're keying in like on a little reef or a little piece of structure, I think those baits kind of excel in that, where you can kind of hold that bait in that zone a little bit longer. But yeah, we can go on and talk about baits forever.
Yeah. Real
So
sharp.
this month we're doing 3 giveaways. I mean, we're doing the captains and 3 giveaways. We're not doing a trout. We're not doing a flounder. We're not doing, not species specific. We're just going to do 3 giveaways for 3 people. And then I guess David's going to do a giveaway for the shirt that he's got. But anyway, Dave Flad, you want to roll that one?
Yeah, so we have 43 captain's entries. And
Nice.
if you're new to this is how we do it. So random.org is just like a website that randomizes, tells you all about how it's really random. And I'm gonna roll 3 times. So the third roll is going to be the winner, so you can all see how it is random, truly random. So first roll is going to be 28. Second roll is 43, and then the winner is going to be 18. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here to 18, and that's Joe Tunstall from
North Carolina.
North Carolina, and his client was Grace Smith.
All
So,
right.
Congratulations, Grace.
Congrats to our first
And
winner.
Captain Joe. And I will get a hold of Captain Joe, and he can tell the winner and get her address. And that's cool. So North Carolina's in the house. Okay,
Nice.
so now we're going to do these. Usually we're going to do 3, but today we're going to do 4 out of 632 fish entered. And if you win this, I'd suggest you go get a lottery ticket because it's pretty good odds. So how should we do this, guys? Should we do every third roll?
Yeah,
Something like that?
sure. Let's
Okay.
do every third.
Okay, so this is going to be for hold on 1 second. Let me show the next giveaway. So this is giveaway A, and looks like what we got: some Reyes,
Was that
koozie.
Bag of baits on the top left. Is that?
No, that's a sun mask.
That's the sun mask.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a gator, almost a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more protective.
Toadfish hat. So this is from a new sponsor, Marshwear. The sun mask. It looks like it's a premium material. Looks pretty comfortable.
And we got the slick lures from Greg Sample, and of course Mirror Lure. David again. 3 years ago, David, Mirror Lure gave you a box of just unbelievable amount of
Yep.
hard plastics, and he was generous enough to do it again. And it's just That'll be another 3 years worth of stuff, probably.
Yeah, it took us 3 years to go through the first box.
Yep.
But then, yeah, we got a brand new box, and it's another giant box. So this is the beginning of the new box, and this is a custom C.A. Richardson color.
Adam had a big old redfish on today with a slick lure.
Nice.
Yeah, big one.
But he didn't get it in.
Okay,
Followed
so here's a
followed
question.
it all the way to the boat.
So is it still 1 through 632 or 43? So the 1 through 43 was separate. So this is 632. 1 through 632 is the next giveaway. Good question. So there's 675 total entries. So that's why that is it's out of 632. So that's the next giveaway. So let's pick giveaway A. And come back here. Okay, so third roll is going to be the first winner of giveaway A. So 366, 626, and the winner 523.
523.
Which is 523, Stan Zimmerman from Virginia. I wonder if Stan's won before. He's been a long time enter.
I think
had
he's
a
the
lot of
leader.
entries.
I think he's the leader year to date.
Is he? Okay. Yeah. So the more you enter, better your chances. So congrats, Stan from Virginia.
Shout out Stan.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Going back here, let's look at giveaway B. This is a good one.
Yeah, so that Alaskan series that you're looking at right there in that Arctic ice, I'm gonna tell you, I bought 2 of those. Mine are blue in color, which they have purple, blue, and green, and they all freeze not freeze at different temperatures, but they hold their temperatures in different ways. I bought 2 of their extra large, and I keep them in my cooler. And I swear, Adam was on my boat today, and I put those in my boat Friday morning. And Adam, water was cold today, wasn't it?
Drinks were still cold.
Yeah. So though I'm really, I can't tell you how much I like those. Now the bait binder, David was the owner of Bait Binder. David was good enough to supply us with a bunch of his shrimp bait, and it's the end of shrimping season, so need to make sure we get that out. Slick lure, and then Aftco.
So
Nice
the
giveaway.
bait binder, though, it's not. It's like a Menhaden kind of like.
Yeah,
It's basically chum. So
it
Like
is.
a putty?
you can put that out and like go pepper it around your favorite fishing spot and go
Yep.
away for an hour and come back and have fish be attracted to that spot. So you can do a lot of different things with that stuff.
Right. It's not just for catching shrimp.
Yep.
Is it like a dough bait?
Yep.
Yeah.
Similar. You mix it with water. You make a pancake. Drop it down to the bottom. Is how they shrimp with them. Is they make a pancake. Drop it down to the bottom. By their poles. And well, you don't do this in Texas, but South Carolina, we can throw nets on shrimp here. So we have a shrimping season that lasts about a month and a half or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So he sells a lot of that product here.
Cast nets. You individually have to throw a cast net. It's not we're not talking about gill nets or anything like that. Just
Yeah, it's just you have 10 poles and they're spaced out like 10 yards a piece or something, and then you make a pancake of this bait binder product, and you make it in a pancake so it doesn't roll around on the bottom with changing tides. So it sets there by your pole. Then you'll troll up to your pole and throw a cast net on it and get your shrimp. I think you get 46 quarts, a 46 quart cooler, I think is what you're allowed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
I think it might work for piggy fish too.
Let's give away this letter B. Okay, so we're going to roll 3 more times or pick the winner. Okay, 116, 282. Winner is 209. And let's see who that is. 209. A lot of entries. Cole Bendele from Texas. with a
All right,
26
Texas
inch
in the
red
house.
drum.
That's a redfish too, guys.
Yeah,
All right.
red drum. South Padre Island.
26
All right.
inch.
Cole. So he's
South Texas.
giveaway B. All right. Okay, so let's check out the third one, which is also a really good one.
Carolina Boat Wash, that's a koozie there, and then you've got the sample boat wash. They're really good to send us product.
That boat wash is really good stuff.
It
too.
is good. It's really good, and it's environmentally friendly. Of course, Slick Lure with Greg Sample got the bait binder T-shirt and the bait binder. I'm kind of pushing him because of being towards the end of shrimp season, but that mosquito repellent is also a gnat repellent. So Adam and I could have used a little bit of that on the boat today.
Yeah, who'd have
Yeah.
thought the gnats would be out today?
But yeah, we'll roll that one, give that away.
Okay, so this is
Sam, last chance.
No, she's got 2 chances.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, she wants to win the shirt.
Okay, ready? First roll 236, second roll 10, and the winner is 277. 277, which is Dustin Siegel from Virginia
Another Virginia one.
Right.
with a 24-inch trout.
Nice trout.
Good fish.
Right, congrats, Dustin. We'll be in touch. And then now the Prime Gancho giveaway.
All right. Let's get another look at it.
Yeah.
Someone will
All
be
right.
the lucky winner.
Who's the lucky winner? So first roll 509, 41, and the winner is drum roll 81.
Early entry.
Early entry, 81, which is Daniel Barimski from North Carolina.
All right.
23-inch trout.
All right.
All right.
We didn't have a South
Yeah.
Carolina winner, did we?
Nope, we didn't. We had
That's cool,
uh,
man. For Red,
Virginia,
for,
North Carolina.
North Carolina guide.
Yeah. Virginia,
North
Virginia.
Carolina, and Virginia, right? No, Texas and Virginia.
Okay.
No Florida. No South Carolina. All right. Well, there we have it. So everyone that won, I will be in touch by email. We'll need your address. We will pack this stuff up and send it out to you.
David, again,
Yeah.
thank you so much for what you do for us. We really appreciate it. And Captain Scotty, Don, thank you guys for what you do. I think we're growing because of you guys for sure.
That's right. Well, we appreciate, like Carrie said, I think having a guest, it really adds a lot to these things. And any of our other sponsors would like to join us, just reach out to us, let us know. And if anyone, of course, has a company and wants to promote their stuff, we're always looking for new sponsors. We don't ask for much. We hope you get more out of it in terms of just advertising and recognition than it costs you to donate product for us to give away. And
We're approaching 11,000 followers on Instagram, so we can we can definitely tout your products, and happy to do so.
that's right. So until next month. So it's November 6th. So we're one week into it. Keep entering your fish. We do this every single month. Don't forget, redfish are now part of it. And the more fish you enter, the better chances of winning. Let's keep this thing rolling. Tell your friends. Tell everyone you know that fishes. If you care about the future, you want a better future, then let's all just get on board with doing this. And we keep hearing every day people saying they believe it. It's really working. So let's it's grassroots. Let's make a change just because we want to make a change. So
Right on.
yeah, thanks everybody.
All right.
We'll sign off. Till next month.
Scotty, you have something to say?
So I'm doing the monthly giveaway for my charter, SCW charter, and got the Yeti bucket with the release
Oh,
over
nice. Okay.
and a Fuego on a air raid coastal Salty Bay bait, and then there's some eye-stripe hooks and Salty Bay soft plastics. All you have to do to enter that is go to my Facebook or Instagram page, like, follow, share, and then you get entries if you go into this month, release over 20, and when you enter your fish, put STW charter giveaway.
In the comment.
Yes, sir.
And I've already seen a handful of those come in. So, yeah. And what's your Instagram, just so people know where to find you?
STW _ charter.
SGW _ charter, everybody. That's a pretty
All
cool
right.
giveaway too. So, and Scotty has a nice program for veterans that he runs called the Fish Program. So, you can read all about that on his page too. So,
I'll
all
give
right.
them a follow.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.
All right.
Thanks again, David.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, guys.